heard from, Council Member Marshall, and she said she could not be here tonight just a little while ago, and, apparently unable to take part by phone as well, so that's what I know about that. All right, we'll start with the city clerk's report, several items there, just,
The minutes.
oh, good gracious. The minutes of April the 8th, I'm sorry.
I know that the minutes for April the 8th be approved as emailed and received by hard copy. Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Is there any question, discussion, correction of the minutes? Sorry, I looked right over it there. All right, all those in favor of approval, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Okay, now, go to city clerk report.
Okay, the administration, the administrative expenses, $148,614.26. Law enforcement was $744,409.61. Fire, $446,216.93. Sanitation was $334,000. I'm sorry, $334,584.84. Building codes was $7,975.03. District court, $35,869.95. Municipal building, $2,519.55. Recreation,
$72,202.
There you go, and 94 cents. Okay, cultural center was $943.59. Armory is $4,906.09. Shooting range, $17,100.99. Citizen Center was $585.59. Other was $5,678. Airport was $17,650.84. Economic development was $5,145.89. Then we have street was $158,528.31.
We'll stop right there and deal with the financials, and again, just make sure everybody's clear, the numbers that she read off are from January 24 through April of 24. And of course, you've got the monthly expenses there and the, the annual budget and so forth.
I move that the financial statement of revenue and expenditures be approved as presented by the city clerk. Second.
Okay, I have a motion second to approve the report. Is there question or discussion on any of the finances? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. That is sufficient, so that approves that. Go ahead with the rest.
Okay, we have the cash balances in your packet. The city, sales tax was for, April was $76,604.37. And the county, sales tax was $54,199.18.
Council members, y'all know this, but for everybody's information, when she says county sales tax, that's the portion the city gets of the county sales tax. And, looks like, we're up about 2% with the city sales tax. For the year, over last year, the county tax is down about 1%, negligible, but just a little bit, okay? And you got the district court.
Yes, sir, the report's in there, in the packet.
You see the district court report, that comes from the district court clerk. They just submit that to us for y'all's review. Anybody got any financial, comments or questions or anything? You approved the financial statement, we'll proceed on. Under the mayor's report, We've got the Pink Tomato Festival street closing, you know, you had a little question about that. Went back and got that resubmitted, we've looked over, everything. And, I think the police chief, has told me that he has reviewed it, he has no problems with any of it. I'm still, 'cause I don't understand Main Street from Seminary to Main. Can somebody explain to me where that's talking about? Am I just missing something here? Seminary, Main Street from Seminary to Main. Terry, can you,
Where is seminary?
it runs north and south in front of the old high school gym. It don't touch Main Street anywhere. Did I have the wrong one? What does y'all say?
I think yours was the one that had to be corrected.
We have the updated copy.
I guess I got the old one, I'm sorry, it just caught my attention. Okay, I'm sorry, my mistake. Pine Street from Cherry to Main, Main from Pine to Church, Church from Main to Myrtle, Myrtle from Church to Elm, and I think that's for the parade. And then the streets on the front, that was the second page. The front page then has got the ones that'll be closed at various times for activities. So I'm sorry, I had the old one. That's why we delayed the
But
thing.
I'd like to know where they were touching bases as well.
Would you like some more
No,
information?
no.
Okay? We do need to approve this. I'm sorry I confused things. I had the old one in my packet here and I didn't see the new one and I thought that was the one that was replaced. It
I
had been
move-
changed. Go
I
ahead.
move that we, approve the Riley County Pink Tomato Festival updated streets as read by the mayor.
Okay. Motion's made and seconded. Anybody got any other question, discussion? I think they got them in order. All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, 1 absent. Thank y'all. Second item is still remaining on the agenda. That's the city flag. There's nothing to, that's in the hands of the East kids. They're working on that. We'll come back to you. The next item we got is ordinance number 956, proposed ordinance. And this would, as we have to do, council member Burks Frazier, of course, being on the city council, but has for many years been our pool manager in the summer at Westside Pool. And this has to be adopted in order for her to serve in that capacity.
I move that we place ordinance number 956 on this first reading.
Second.
Okay, motion second. All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor.
Recuse.
4 in favor.
One
Abstain.
abstention.
One abstention, Councilmember Burks Frazier, 1 absent. Opposed ordinance, well, we're gonna have a vote first, then I'll read it, okay? This is for first reading, all in favor, show of hands. Again, I see the
And one abstention.
1 abstention, do the same thing each time. Okay, a proposed ordinance 956, an ordinance permitting Almer Memory Frazier to hold employment with the city of Warren, whereas the city of Warren, Arkansas has need for qualified personnel, whereas restricting employment employees to exclude elected officials would handicap the city's efforts to employ qualified personnel in such positions, whereas Arkansas Code 1442-107 may in some instances be interpreted as preventing such employment in the absence of an authorizing ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of Warren, Arkansas, Section 1, to understand that Memory Frazier is an alderman of the City of Warren, Arkansas, and is hereby authorized to hold employment as manager of the Warren City Pool at a salary of $1,200 every 2 weeks per season in consideration of said employment. Section 2, all ordinances previously enacted in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed.
I move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 956 on this second reading.
Second.
Okay, rules, motion second, rules suspended, second reading, all in favor, show of hands. Same, 4 in favor, 1 abstention, 1 vacant. Proposed ordinance 956, an ordinance permitting Alderman Memory Frazier to hold employment with the city of Warren.
I move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 956 on its third and final reading.
Second.
Motion and seconds appropriate for third and final reading. Question or discussion, all in favor, show of hands. 4 in favor, 1 abstention, 1 absent. Proposed ordinance 956, an ordinance permitting Alderman Memory Frazier to hold employment with the city of Warren.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 956.
Second.
Motion's made and second for adoption of the ordinance. Any question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. 4 votes in favor, 1 abstention, again, Councilmember Frazier, and 1 absent. There's no emergency clause, so that's taken care of. Thank y'all very much. Just trying to keep you legal, Councilmember. We've done that for a long time, nothing unusual. All right, Alderman, do y'all have anybody, that you need to recognize? Yes, ma'am.
I do, Mr. Roger George.
Mr. George, you are recognized to come forward. Well, you can talk from there, you can come up here, probably better up here so they can see you.
Do I have to be close to him?
I'm pleased you do, yeah.
I'll use it.
Part of the deal. You're recognized, sir.
Thank you. And thank each one of y'all for serving our city. A long time ago, I did that probably for about 14 years. And y'all need to be commended for what y'all do. It's not always pleasant. My understanding, y'all are looking at the municipal league insurance. And I wanted to give y'all some information that I'm sure you have not been shared with. When you go into these funds, when you buy through, normally through a fund, you don't have cost of true insurance. And I'm gonna give you 2 examples that are here locally. If you can go through the minutes of Warren School District, back when I was on the school board, they came in and, well, these funds came in and outbid one of the local nurses, which was me, about $3,500. At the end of 6 months, they came back and assessed the city of Warren $24,000.
Or the school board, you know the school board, so they assess the school board.
Yes.
Okay, I'll make sure.
And then locally, right across the street, the county was in a fund through Perma like this. Ask your local judge what happened to him last year. They had how long ago was it when the jail at El Dorado Apartments? But they had several big fires, and what happens? If you have a tornado like in the school district, they had a fire at Gwinnett, they had a fire at Cabot, and then they have a tornado at Benton. So they had to pay for 3 schools. So they came back and assessed each member so much money, okay? Same thing happened over here at the county. They had one of the big lawsuits was the jail, county jail at El Dorado. It burned. Clay got assessed $27,000 about a year and a half ago, and he pulled out of the fund. Now, he ended up having to go into another one because he came back to us to ask us to reinsure him. But I only had 10 days and I couldn't get my quotes. Hopefully, we're gonna get the county back. But you're not buying true insurance. I looked up, y'all paid, I believe it floated right at $60,000 to M&P. I could send you a bid down here on everything for $40,000 and then send you an assessment at the end of the year to do the same thing that they do. And, you know, we always are claiming shot one first. I can show you where we give about $18,000 back to the community every year in donation. We give like $1,200 to the YMCA, and we give about $700 to Bronco Black baseball game. We gave $10,000 on the football field. So, we belong to the chamber and pay to you, the IDC. Those people in Little Rock is not gonna put a penny back in our community. So, you know, I feel like spot that you need to bid it through the local agents in Warren, and let us bid, keep it hometown. You know, the city will bust their butt trying to get a new industry. We have 15 employees, and they pay taxes just like we do. And again, you're not gonna get a penny back from that group out of Louisville. And again, you can check with Clay McKinney on this assessment. I visited with him today to get the amount, he told me it was $27,000. You sure? He said, basically, they've only paid about $7 because they're trying to, got some attorneys working, but they can come back and assist you. So what I'm telling you is, I'll be glad to bring out a bill for $20,000. Then at the end of the year, I'm gonna do it for not the cost of the insurance. So that's the way this thing works. Again, we are what I consider a little small industry in Warren. Serving employees, we have 15. We pay city and county taxes. Again, those people up there are not gonna put a penny back from the city of Warren or Bradford County. But, I looked, we gave last year about $18,000 something in donation back to the city. So, I wish y'all would take that into consideration when you do this. Now, if you do buy this policy, I'd like to look at it, and I would love for the city to say, give us a letter that we will never be assessed. If you can get that letter and they beat us, but I still think you need to keep it low. And they come in the first year and look real good, and then after that, they're gonna go up on the board. But again, you're not buying true insurance, you're buying through a fund, and you can be assessed through these funds. Does that make sense to anybody? Anybody got any questions?
I wanna make sure I'm clear. So we purchase insurance through the municipal league. We can be assessed with other cities, communities, disasters?
Yeah, if they have a tornado, if Monticello's in it, and if they have a disaster over there, one small disaster, you're not gonna get assessed with the weather. The way the weather's going now, you could pay 2 to 3 times what they're billing you for the crew. So, and again, I can bring you a bill on all this stuff, and then you come back and say, yeah, remember, we sell true insurance, it's not fun. So, we're kind of at a disadvantage, because they will come in quite a bit lower, and you can be assessed. But I would really hope that y'all would consider that we are a little industry here in the city of Warren. We do pay taxes, and we try to put money back. To be honest with you, from what y'all paid me last year, I made $4,200. So it would behoove me to say, move it, and I won't give any more donation. And that's about the way I would feel. So I would make money, but not renew in that case. So like I said, you always hear a shot in one first. So.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. George?
Did that make sense, what I said about the assessment? Thank you so much. And y'all do a good job. When you keep your mouth shut.
Add to the word.
Thank you, Mr. George.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
for coming.
Hey, thank you
Okay.
for taking my call.
You're very welcome.
You've always took my call, and I appreciate that.
Okay, anybody, another council member got anybody? I haven't got to the write-ins yet, so hold on just a second. Y'all got anybody else?
No, the other person that contacted me is not here.
Okay. I've got somebody, but that I wanna ask y'all to move up on the agenda. We got Jason Holzclaw here, and I'd like to do that if we could.
Where do
That's,
you have it on the agenda?
let's see, that's the bond, solar deal. Is that under, that's new business, item 10A. Item 10A is where it is.
Okay, I move that we move, item number 10A under.
Alderman recognized, yeah.
Alderman recognized.
All right, that's an appropriate motion, is there a second? Seconded by Alderman Ogletree. Anybody got any question, discussion? He has to travel back to Little Rock.
We should have moved it up under your report. That's
Well,
what-
we could have done that, I'm sorry, I should have done that. Wait, all in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Jason, would you come on up? We'll try to, and then we'll get to the people that have signed in locally.
He don't look like he's the president of the company, but we need this one.
Good.
You make me feel special. It's good to be back before you this evening. You know, last time we were together was last month, and when I came before you, we kind of walked through the different funding options that potentially were going to be available to the city as of that time. On April the 2nd, if you may recall, we had put a term sheet in front of the mayor from a funder at that, and it was subject to some due diligence and providing certain information to that funder. Unfortunately, that funder has backed out as of the end of last week. So the reason for that, they told us, has to do with the fact that the fiscal year 2022 audit was not available yet. Even though we explained to them the legislative audit is in charge of that, we have no control over it. They still felt like they needed that information, even though your administration, trust me, has provided tons of information to the funder. While this will delay us slightly, I am convinced that we'll be able to find someone to finance this project. Unfortunately, it just has delayed us, and that's where we are today. So I'm here tonight to tell you that, to answer any questions you might have about it, but also more for an informational item. I believe you have the ordinance in your packet, and so that ordinance will look very similar to what you will see going forward. We just don't actually have the financier available to you yet. If you remember, the role that Stephen is playing here is we're actually serving as an agent, a placement agent, so we're trying to find that particular financier for you. As I mentioned to you, we've gone to several parties, and the latest one, although they sucked down, 4 to 6 weeks of our time, we do feel like we'll be able to achieve the objective that we have before us in a timely manner in order to meet the deadlines that we will need to meet. So I'm here to answer any questions you have, but wanted to also make you aware of what's taking place as of this time. So if there's any questions you have, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Have you been in touch with Scenic Solar, the actual company, can we still meet, there were some deadlines, I know the council was told about that, certain things we had to have in place by September in order to
That's
get
right.
the, the tax credits and so forth. I mean, that's the key thing here,
That's
we
correct,
can't
yeah.
do that. We should,
Right now, we still have time to do that. We
Okay.
have conversations. We have a bi-weekly meeting with Scenic Solar, so we have these discussions. We're both walking hand in hand in this process. And so we do have until September. We know the timeline is kind of sticking down on us. One of the issues we have is a 30-day referendum period. So once you, as a council, takes action, we have a 30-day referendum period that must run for public comment or anything of that nature. So that's the window that we have to kind of work around. So let's say this week or next, we're able to line up another funder and go before you and get approval by the council to move forward with that funder. We will have to have a 30-day referendum period, and that would have us closing on the transaction more than likely in July, which would still give us plenty of time to get those federal credits. So that's our goal. We're going to hammer down and try to find a new financier as quickly as possible. And unfortunately, that's just the situation we find ourselves in this evening.
So the audit was the only holdup?
That's pretty much it, yeah, unfortunately. We provided them the franchise fee collections over the last years. We showed them where the franchise fees broke out. We provided the assessed valuations of the city, all the pieces of information they requested. We were working with a large national company, and I think at the end of the day, when they look at their checklist, they see, okay, why can't you provide us the 22 financials? Because they're used to working with larger municipalities. Those municipalities may have a private auditor, et cetera. Again, we explained to them we work with legislative audit, and that you work with legislative audit, and that you're subject to their
And
getting
we
the work
had
done.
an unqualified, audit as well.
That's right, so we provided revenues and expenditures, similar information that you heard this evening, all the way up until, I guess.
2023,
Yeah,
for last year.
Even in
Yeah.
24. So that information is available to them, unfortunately, they just couldn't get comfortable, and I think in my personal opinion, has to do with just the fact that they had to check those boxes and they couldn't make it happen. So, we believe we obviously have a lot of great connections across the state with smaller financial institutions that we think would be more than happy to participate on this. It's just that once we got that term sheet commitment from that one company, we stopped with other firms and decided to move forward with this, and unfortunately, they pulled it away from us, so, that's where we find ourselves.
I'm disappointed. Jason's kept me in the loop all along. I really don't understand this because we've given them everything they would have seen in an audit, except the audit would have just said this, I guess that this is accurate. But we gave them all of our financial, I mean, every month, yearly.
If that's the criteria, they're not going to waive it for us, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately, so.
but hopefully we can still get this done.
And I'm, hopefully we're not back having the same conversation next month, but I will be here next month, and, if that's the case, we'll talk about it. Hopefully I'm here before then, and we're moving forward with the business of the city. So,
But you feel comfortable, very comfortable with the new financial institution that you're working with?
Well, let's take it next step. So what we're going to do, I mean, we just found this out into last week on Ansys Day. So tomorrow, literally tomorrow, we are going to put together a several-page memo. We're going to blast that out to our network of financial institutions and see who would be interested.
So you have to narrow it down. so
We have,
that's
we have a couple of institutions that we know that potentially would be interested in this type of financing, and those will be the ones that we kind of go to first. But we're not going to limit it to one or two. We're going to look at a whole bunch. And so, unfortunately, again, because we had this term sheet, we moved away from kind of doing this multi-look, if you will, of different financial institutions, and have been focused on this one. So, it's the latest.
So unfortunate.
Sometimes the way these things work, but I have a lot of confidence in Stevens, and I know they'll do their best to get this taken care of. This is a taxable bond, it's not a taxable bond. We've done things in different ways with both over the years, but this one had to be taxable. And, so really thought that would probably make a lot of difference in, folks being willing to buy it.
We definitely want to take advantage of the tax credits that.
Oh, absolutely, and I don't think this transaction works without them.
We got to have
And
that.
so at the end of the day
We
too,
don't have a choice.
I will tell you, I know a lot of you watch the news and you see kind of what's happening at the national level as it relates to interest rates. I do think that there isn't a lot of municipal bonds out there right now. What does that mean for you? It means that these financial institutions are looking for that type of transaction. Now, this one's a little bit unique because of the tax pool, because of the federal tax credit or the federal credit that you will get. Some different elements make it a little bit different. You have to kind of dig into some pieces there, but it might translate into a more favorable interest rate for the city. So even though we had committed to the 6.75% with this other institution, my hope is that we can get even a little bit better interest rate for the city because we reopened this bidding process. So hopefully I'm back before with that and better interest rate bid.
That's your homework assignment, sir. We
As
set
long as
interest
we
rates
meet
down, we're
those
better off in the long
timeframes.
run anyway.
You've got to meet those timeframes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Questions for Jason? I appreciate him coming down. I want to make sure y'all understood what's going on. We've been moving right along. I hoped I was ready to adopt an ordinance tonight and, to get this thing rolling, but it's just not where we can do it. So he's go back, do his work, see what we can come up with.
And we appreciate your patience and as we work through this, unfortunately, it's just the circumstances we find ourselves in. But if you have any questions in the meantime, please let the mayor know. Happy to address those. And then again, we'll be back before you as quickly as we can.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Jason. We'll
Thank you very much.
let you get out of here and maybe you get home at a reasonable hour or so.
We appreciate it.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, we got some, anybody else on the council got anybody? We got some sign-ins here. See who we have. Okay, I'm not sure I can read this. Look, it deals with a roadblock.
It's me.
Who, yes, ma'am.
Charles.
What's your name?
Mickey Charles.
Okay, Nikki, come ahead. I'm sorry, I just had your handwriting kind of looks like my handwriting. People have trouble reading that, so I can understand. You're recognized.
Okay, how you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
We're planning on having a family reunion on June the 14th, and we're trying to get the road block for the kids to play, people running up and down the road, so they told me I had to come in here to see about getting the road block.
Where are we talking about?
Okay, it's on County Street, left off Academy.
Are you saying like a block party?
It's a family reunion, we just wanna block it off, so people won't be driving down the road, hitting the kids while they out playing and stuff.
From where to where?
It's off,
Kelly goes through
okay, it's off Rock and Bragg, it'll be off Rock and Bragg.
so from Rock to Bragg Street.
Well, Bragg is on one side, and.
Yeah, and Kelly run that part between there.
Yes,
So 1103 Kelly, which is between
Rock and Bragg.
Rock and Bragg, and you would want the whole street just blocked off where no traffic would be
Yes,
able to
from
come
4
through.
to 9.
Okay,
4 p.m. to
9 at
9.
night.
Okay.
4 to 9, okay.
June 19th.
Alderman Topri, that's in your
14.
area.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry, Alderman
I
Topri.
make the motion, we do it.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. And again, that would be, just for the record, June 14th of this year. Your residence 1103, but you wanna block Kelly Street between Rock and Bragg.
Yes.
And it will not prevent anyone from going to their homes within that street area.
No, I have talked to all the neighbors and they done signed and they had no problem.
They did two on that.
All right, council members, I've heard a motion and a second, I believe. You got that? Did you get to that motion in a second? Okay. Y'all got any other questions or any discussion about it? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, that is sufficient. So, do need we'll make sure the police department coordinates that, with you, and also the street department, because they may have to put up some barricades and things. So, when it gets a little closer to that time, we'll make contact with you and work it out.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And I believe you were on there twice, so did you sign it 2 times? Okay, so, yeah, so that's it, that's just the only one we had. Okay. All right, administrative standing committee reports, I see we can, pick it up here a little bit, police chief? Police chief? Oh, there you are.
Good evening. I do believe you guys have a copy of my April month report. I think it's pretty much accurate depiction of police department's activities for the month of April. I just want to point out one thing that, we are still currently 2 patrols short, but we're actually 3 patrols short because we have another patrolman that's out on another individual out on extended medical leave. We're not expecting him back until probably around the 1st of July, and not just around the end of January. So we are still kind of short staffed, but we're getting to it.
Did we put that person on family medical leave?
Yeah, we have to talk to the human resources person about that. I don't know about that.
I hope so.
I'll check on that, I'm not sure
I
what
know
else.
it was involved in, he did get hurt on duty, so I know he's going to work this time, but I thought,
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, chief.
well, that's all I have to say, Mayor, for
I think you've got information in there about radar
Right.
running and, streets that we've been working, how much time we've spent, with each one as best we can. Y'all got any questions on anything, please ask him. We got some part-time employees that are working, or do we have any right
We
now?
have some on our roster there, but like I said, we don't use them very often, because what happens is, a lot of times, when it's line of work, the part-time guys, they have other,
They can't work when you need them.
they can't work when we need them, it's kind of work when they can work, so, we don't use them.
So basically, we're doing overtime as we need to with other employees.
Yes, yes, sir. We have quite a bit of, we have quite a bit of mandatory training things we have to do, this time of
Would
year.
you describe, this is in their package too, would you tell them about
The
that?
class they went through, I didn't go to the class, so I can't tell you what they learned.
There are some certificates some of our officers have gotten from additional training.
Right.
That's just in there.
That should be in the package.
Any questions for the police chief? Chief, hang loose here while the committee, gets there before you would. I'll go to the police committee, Alderman Burks Frazier, chairman, Atkins Mosley, members. You're recognized,
Okay,
Madam Chairman.
so, at every meeting, we continue mentioning the dispatch study that was done. It was given, the mayor suggested giving it to the municipal league for their input. And Thursday morning, the mayor told us that he had some information back from the municipal league, and would get it to us, but we don't have enough to report yet, so that's an ongoing, study. And then we also received the livestock ordinance number 953 Thursday morning, at the agenda meeting, and I'm gonna ask that the police committee meet and look over it, make sure it reads as we intended before we bring it to the council for approval.
So you wanna leave it on the agenda?
Leave it on the
for
agenda,
next
and then
meeting?
by next, what's May?
June.
June council meeting, it should be ready for, for the vote.
Just as updated by Mike, Madam Chair, I went back to look, cause y'all have acted on this, started acting on it back in January.
Right.
And decided you'd actually put it through 3 readings and then you tabled it. So when the time comes, there'll be a couple of things we'll need to do. Number one would be you'd have to take it off the table by a vote. And then the amendments that have been made, assuming you stick with any amendments, they will have to be adopted as amended, so.
But I'd like to remind that the nuisance ordinance and the noise ordinance, and then we do have an animal ordinance in place. This is mainly for small and large tool animals. But we do have, like, it's not animals just running wild, we do have an animal ordinance in place currently. It's just an amendment.
Anything else there from your committee?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Fire Chief Chuck Moore. They've got your monthly reports,
Good evening.
so just,
Fire department funded 10 dogs during the month of April, 3 dogs were toned out in the entire department. We did a lot of training. We had our regular monthly meeting and training on April 1st. April 16th, we went to Top Latch and had a tour and walk around. On April 22nd, we went out here to AHF and did basically the same thing and went over their plan and looked at where all their fire protection stuff was, and just, we had a lot of new members never been out there, so that's kind of what we spent the month of April doing.
are there questions for the chief on his report? Anything? I think you got enough data on the structures, on the status of some of these structures, these have been burned, or burned houses or structures, as to what whether or not we're collecting our money or not, from their insurance companies. And we are working these. Not just letting them sit here on paper, we're contacting the insurance companies and seeing where we are and when they're gonna do something.
Right. And that last one was hand delivered to the proper people. Most recent one.
All right.
How long do we give them to tear down burnt structures after the insurance company did what they did?
That'd be a Rob
Okay.
question as far as that.
We can give you an update on any other specifically, Mr. Toll-Free, that you
I don't know that
want
we
to know
have.
about.
I was just questioning about the timeline.
Sure, well, some of them been there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Basically, we follow the same procedure as we do for, just dilapidated structures and what have you, but I know he's working on a number of them. But we can see here in a minute, maybe we can give you some more information. If we can't, we'll get it for you.
That's it for me.
You have anything from the committee?
Not this time, we'll probably try to have a meeting right after the June municipal league meeting to
Okay.
discuss a few things.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Sanitation Manager, Mr. Johnson. We're talking solid waste right now, okay?
Yes, sir.
I think they've got, some of this stuff come under building official reports, go ahead. Sorry.
Sanitation, are you gonna go building codes first?
No, go building codes first, yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry. No, I said it back, go
Okay.
sanitation
All right,
first.
okay. Sanitation department's running good, we did lose an employee last week, we are, and we moved our, part-time guy up, and he's stepped up to the plate doing a good job. We are advertising for a part-time thrower. All the equipment's running and seems to be in good shape, and, we're keeping maintenance full on all of them. Our boom truck that y'all let us get for the city, is supposedly supposed to be here this month, that's all I can get out of this month to May. Hopefully, we'll get here soon. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Any questions on the solid waste, the garbage pickup and disposal? I know there's a sanitation committee's got, so they've met, and I'm gonna let, Councilmember Atkins, go over that list. Councilmember, you're recognized. Thank you.
You can keep that. The sanitation committee did meet on May the 9th at 5 o'clock. Our members were present, including Mr. Johnson. And we've had some updates on the solid waste, which will continue to stay on our agenda, but, Mr. Johnson gave us an update that was to use an Ashley County, facility. And some of the specifics of why, they're open on Saturdays, easier, we're cutting down on time, which means we're saving money in labor, but also they're only charging us $42 a ton, per ton versus we're paying $89 per ton in El Dorado, right?
Roughly.
One item for us to discuss and for me to bring to the council, we talked about, increasing our recycling to include white paper, which is all paper except for paper that would have any bodily fluids on, right?
Yeah,
Toilet
any type of
tissue,
right.
paper towels, Kleenex, whatnot. Rob's already spoken to the hospital, you know, pitch to the school board.
We talked to several businesses in town, but we're nowhere near through with what we wanna get started. We wanna get this all implemented, right before school starts next year. We wanna step into it, and I feel like it would actually it's gonna take that much time, I feel like, to do it right, with a daily or every other day pickup at these different locations, depending on who's putting it out. Just real briefly, real quick, the white paper is a good commodity because the price is really good. It runs right along in there with cardboard. And it's a pretty good deal for us, and it's not that labor intensive. And that's all I got.
So I would like to, well, one of the things that we need to, add an additional recycling center. And we're looking at, property that the city possibly owns. We put it on the west side of town since we already have one right here at the emergency, service building. So something similar to what we have right here, but right now we just need to secure some land, concrete slab, and some fencing. So with that being said, I move that we authorize sanitation manager to purchase supplies and materials needed to build a recycling center for white paper up to and not exceeding $5,000.
Yeah, that would also be cardboard also.
Thank you.
Now, when we say recycling, this center really is the collection
Collection.
point is what we're talking about. We got the recycling center, so we're not talking about having to buy more equipment from that standpoint. We're just talking about boxes and, you know, fenced in area and what have you, and, very good.
Can I ask this, I've got a question, so, I'm just thinking about how much foot traffic from the transient people that are on, that I see on the west side, well, all over town. And they go through, they've been going through the dumpsters, are they gonna have access, can they go through this?
No, ma'am, I was planning on having it locked at night. The guy opens it in the morning,
Okay.
and locks it at night. Monday through Saturday, can be closed on Sunday.
Yeah, we're trying to collect stuff, for the most part, probably not anything they want, but, having said that, who knows what we might do, I agree with that. But we're gonna start out with, if I may, with cardboard and paper, as many tons of that as we can get out of our waste stream with the cooperation of the public. Businesses will work with them individual, but we want places, individual households can just drop their stuff off and they'll do it. Every ton we get out of our garbage disposal system, we are saving the taxpayers money. Plus, we will sell this material for, you know, a modest amount, but we'll at least get a little income for it. So we're basically trying to set up a system to where we don't spend a lot of money collecting it, but we get it out of the waste stream, which saves money, and then we get a little bit of cash back for it. And we're gonna try to get some grant money too, Madam Chairman. There's some grant money for some of that, and we're gonna try to get that. I'm sorry, you got anything else you wanna say?
No.
Did we get a motion and second? We
Got a
did, didn't
motion,
we?
got a second?
Any questions or discussion? Other? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. So we will proceed. Back to you, Councilmember Happy.
Okay, our next item, was the boom loader. Mr. Johnson's already told us it's gonna be here sometime this month. We're gonna take a picture with Ms. Dorothy. And then, a new truck for Mr. Johnson. So right now, he currently has a 4-door pickup truck that he wants to bequeath to his team because,
Yeah, we're fine, we have a 1-ton pickup is all we have, and other day I asked the guys to go pick up paper, and that's the only truck they had to get in. I've got too many people for the vehicles we got, and I'm driving a 4-door truck that I don't need, and I just wanted to hand it to the sanitation guys, and that will give 2 in one truck, 2 in the other, 3 or whatever, because in this report here, I mean, we did a little over 20, it says 25 hours of picking up paper.
This is litter.
This is weekly, and this is like 3 people. This isn't just total hours of one person. It's a little deceiving on how we typed it up, and I'll try to make that correction next. But we do 20, 25 hours a week, anywhere from 1 to 4 people doing this. So we really concentrated on picking up paper throughout the city. And I'm sorry to say, sometimes you can't tell it, we can do one street, go back down. It seems like we're steadily going over the same ones, but
Now, we
anyway.
have volunteers that do that, as well,
Yeah,
they go
ma'am.
off the streets and you go back through it,
And I just, that was one that was brought to my attention. We had a garbage truck parked over there on Halligan, Cherry, just sitting on the side of the road with 2 guys in it, and, that's what made me think about getting another truck. I mean, we can leave the truck at the shop. We've got other avenues that we could be doing with another pickup. And truthfully, I don't need a 4-door, full-size truck.
so,
Al-
go ahead.
Alderman Thompson, I wanted to say, it says new truck, but it means new truck to rob.
Yeah, you trucks are wrong.
Okay.
A new used
A new
vehicle.
used.
I do truck.
Used.
Used truck.
a vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes. So the motion is, I move that we authorize sanitation manager to locate and purchase a single cab truck up to and not to exceed $20,000. Not new.
Just a second.
Got a motion and a second. Alderman Henderson.
I was
Now.
thinking all over that it never came out.
No, I wasn't gonna say that, I was waiting for the motion to come.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tolfree, you got something.
How we gonna finance it?
General fund,
Okay.
or if I can find a grant, I might in some way or another figure out how to get that out of some recycling money, but I'll search and see, certainly, we can do whatever we can come up with, but just basically we'll have to, try to find just something that's not too expensive, hopefully. Any other questions? I think, and I guess guess I wanna kinda add this to it before you vote. Rob's doing something with the sanitation department that has really never been done before. They're making their garbage routes, commercial and residential. And yet they're also spending time, once they get that done, that's their top priority, once they get that done, he's putting them to a certain amount of time on streets to pick up litter. You know, the street department tries to do some of that too, but they got more than they can handle trying to fix streets and ditches. And so we're trying to do this on our own, but we bring in prisoners when we can, but that's not enough. So, just for the record, say that. Anybody got any question on, or any other comment before we vote?
No, I was just looking at the cash balances as it relates,
Yeah.
our funds, and there is dollars, that's there.
We'll still see what else we
In
come
about
up with.
three different categories. But if you can get a grant, that would be, more advantageous to us.
Yes, ma'am, and we certainly intend to try to get some for those other recycling issues you voted on.
You taking Miss Fulton's place, ain't you?
All right, y'all ready?
Taught by her.
Y'all ready to vote?
Yeah.
All right, all in favor, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, so we're good there. Thank y'all. Okay, we'll, is that everything? Oh, you got one more thing, don't you? I'm sorry, I'm about to run off away from you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that was a perfect segue, talking about, the team picking up trash, because we have a citywide cleanup, and I'm working with Mr. Johnson, Mr. Wagner, and Mr. Hertzberger, whether he knows it or not, for June the 8th, and the school district to go through and have a citywide cleanup. So I'm just asking everyone to, keep that date in mind, come out and volunteer, help promote it, help recruit some volunteers. Thank you.
The youngsters gonna be able to get their little service hours for this?
And I think we're gonna have some places they can dump the stuff, are we? Right, so we're gonna cooperate with them from that standpoint.
That's all I have to add.
Okay, I'm sorry, I like to bring about that, because I know it's important. All right, now let's go build official, Mr. Johnson. They've got your permits issued, and you got information on the properties.
Yes, sir. Any questions on any of the, properties that we got there? I am requesting it, one to be condemned. It's on 308 Turner. It was mowed in the front only, and, it's got it's pretty bad in the rear. It's surrounded by a privacy fence. A request I got, the neighbor that was complaining, got a legitimate complaint, and there hadn't been anything done in the rear of the property.
Which one's that again?
308 Turner.
No, we're looking, where am I looking?
On the bottom.
Bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The letter was sent a couple of his minutes.
Oh, I see, okay.
Right. We're also in the process of working on the junior tax service, these buildings right here by, Mr. Bob Milton that had storm damage. We're working on them right now, trying to come up with a solution on getting them cleaned up. And, we've removed several cars this month, and, we've got several more to get that time is about up with. And, a lot of these are on, 2 of these that are on this list, of letters we sent out, have cleaned up their property and mowed grass since the letter was received, so.
Tell them which one to.
Brenda, number 3, Brenda Drake. Number 2, Thomas Brunson, actually there's more than that. Number 8, Miss Swift, 621 West Pine, and Rodney Jenkins.
So there's been 4 of them that are, that
Right.
they have responded.
Right
4.
now. And I've received telephone calls from, every person that's in Southern Court that we sent a letter to, and I've been told that they would take care of the vehicles and the properties as soon as, they just want to call to get a little bit of extra time, so. And hopefully we'll go forward with that. So, that's where we are, but But the one that is ready to be condemned, if y'all wanna consider it, or you wanna wait, go by and look at it, is 308 Turner.
Where is it?
Right, the Methodist Church parking lot, right east of it. We got an abandoned lot.
West of it.
Yeah, west of it, I'm sorry. We got an abandoned lot there that we tore a house down several years ago. I sent a letter off for it, but this is the property just south of it. And, you know,
It used to be so pretty too.
yeah,
Most of them had water at one time.
yeah.
So can I move that we condemn, 308 Turner?
Appropriate motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second?
This will be I would think we might wanna just consider the lot instead of
Okay.
the house. If that's possible.
Is that okay?
Is that okay? Because the house basically is there, it's the complaints coming from the trash, and they moved all the trash from the front to the rear. It's a real mess.
So when you condemn, so what would the motion be, the difference in condemning?
That they clean up,
General
clean up the
General
lot
cleanup?
Yeah.
and mow it and so forth.
Okay, then I move that, we condemn the lot for general cleanup, 308 Turner.
That second still good?
Yes.
Okay. Now, discussion. All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, 1 absent. That is sufficient. Rob, proceed with appropriate notifications.
And we also did file one lien this month, or last month rather, $75 on the property that we cleaned up at 108 West Central.
You have a question about the apartments?
That was,
Okay.
Hey, Rob, I've got another one, and I don't know, I should have stopped and got the address, but it's on Cedar Street. I don't think anybody lives there right now. It's, to the west of Miss Banks. It's the White House with the big, it's between Miss Banks and the old Henley House.
Okay? Okay.
That house is the litter.
Are you talking about the old Brown home?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, she is.
Is that
But
what
it's
you're
just,
talking about?
it's littered, not necessarily the house. I mean, it looks bad, but there's bags of cans and litter in the back and on the side.
Okay, all right, I'll check it out tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rob, it's just in one big, report here, we still got the Phillips Street, 504 Rock, 113 Cloquet. Tell them where we are on each one of these.
Okay, I haven't done a thing to Rock or Phillips. I'm just kinda in limbo, because, I mean,
There's been some work done on
Yeah.
both, but it's not satisfactory. Now, talk about Cloquet. They need to
Cloquet,
know-
the gentleman, that Mr. Hatley, was in the process of doing his selling, did come by 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, and pick up the packet to go forward with the mobile home issue. And as far as today, he has not been back. And they are still living there, the water is still on, I checked all that, so.
That was
The grass
to ask
had
for a waiver from the
Right.
planning commission, as anybody would have to do to have a mobile home anywhere besides a mobile home park. We got him the information, nothing's happening.
So what do we do?
You know, that's y'all's fault.
We could order the water turned off
Yeah.
and all of that, and then take legal action against Mr. Happy, because he hasn't sold it yet,
Yes,
has he?
it's actually Mr. Hatley's home.
Yeah.
We were just letting this other guy come around and just get paperwork in the formality and get it correct.
I think we need to move forward with that, with,
The reason I hadn't cut the water off is because it's more Mr. Hatley's deal
right.
than the people that are there. They were unaware that you had to go through all this process. However, now, since they picked up the mobile home packet, they know what to do and they hadn't been back. So I don't, that's where I'm at, I don't know.
Cause if we don't do something, we're gonna be here 4 years from now, it's
Right,
the same thing.
right. So,
I mean, I hate to do that to somebody, but it's not, we have ordinance and laws for a reason.
How long ago did they get the packet?
3 weeks.
I'm gonna think within the last 3 weeks, I know. Yeah.
Explain plenty of
It's
time.
time to act.
Yeah,
And the property owner is Mr. Hatley, and he's the one we should take action against as for, the people, if you think we ought to leave them alone until we take action against him, I could understand that. But on the other hand, they don't seem to be getting any big hurry to, try to get in compliance either, which they have an option to do.
When you cut people's water off, I'm not being smart, it tends to get stuff started. It gets the process going, and they'll contact Mr. Hammond when they contact me, they won't know why I cut the water off. But that's solely up to y'all, y'all can just let me know and I'll take care of it. I don't have any friends left anyway.
Would it be,
That was a joke, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen.
would it be appropriate to circle back with them and tell them whatever date they got that packet, 30 days, is we looking at another week or so?
Yeah, I tried to do that today prior to this meeting, but I can do it periodically too, until I eventually catch them. But, and the yard was mowed today, I mean, it looks nice over there, it's not a junkyard. But nobody came to the door when I knocked, and there wasn't a vehicle.
We're probably gonna need to go at night.
can we send a certified letter?
Well, we can still deal with that, okay?
We get them, we get so many of those
Back,
back now,
okay.
it's killing me, we're spending a lot of money on.
I think we just deliver something over there. If we have to go at night, we'll go over there and try to.
I think some of them move forward with Mr. Hackman, whatever action is.
Formal motion?
I make the motion that we, notify the residents of, was it Cloquet, 113 Cloquet, that they have 30 days to,
And proceed with that.
yeah, to submit their petition, and then we proceed with, the next step with the owner, Greg Hatley.
So we won't cut any water off until we go through the process with them. And then, so that motion's appropriate. You get all that?
Yeah.
Is there a second? Second. Anybody got a question or discussion? I mean, I hate to have to do stuff like this too, I know y'all do, but I mean, it just comes down to pulling right and wrong about some of this,
When we have complaints, we can't help but take
and
action.
they're legitimate.
Right,
So are we saying 30 days from today or 30 days from
No,
the first?
when they picked it up, I think.
So, okay.
Okay. All right, anybody else? Motion second, all minds clear? All in favor of the motion, show of hands. And I see a 5 vote, 1 absent, so that takes care of that. And I'd like to keep working on with the Phillips Street, the Rock Street, just a little bit longer and see if we might can work something out. Those are kind of unusual situations but then some progress has been made, but we won't drop them. That's my request. I mean, if y'all wanna do something different, tell me.
Let's move on.
All right,
Sound like a plan.
thank you. Anything else, Rob? On any of your stuff?
We removed one more dumpster this past month, we're narrowing them down a bit. Regular garbage.
We're not having as many dumpsters to be abused as we did, and we're still picking up the commercial garbage the way we're supposed to, even more often in some cases.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
Right.
All right, let's get to street foreman. Mr. Hernsberger, step up.
Good evening. All I can tell you is we've been busy as a 3-legged chicken. We've had several major issues.
That makes it faster, don't it? Go ahead.
We've had several major issues with major drains here in town. I'm sure everybody's seen the pile of rock down here at Pine and Myrtle. That project is not complete. We're waiting on the weather to clear just a little bit. We have to pour some more concrete in the rocks to keep it from washing further. It's just weather related right now. We're working over on Bradley Street on the drainage down by the hospital. Still, we're having to wait till it dries up a little bit to get in there and pour the concrete on it. We are starting to bush hog around town as much as we can. Usually it's taking 2 tractors to bush hog and 1 to pull everybody out. We did some concrete curbing work today, up here on the corner of Pine and Main, that rebuilt steps,
Y'all know where he's talking about? It's been like that for about 15 years, I think, since they went there and tore all that out. It never was fixed back. I decided it's time to fix it back. So, go ahead, Monty, I'm sorry.
We've got a culvert issue on the end of Cedar that we're gonna have to look into real quick. That's gonna have to be replaced. It's actually 3 culverts in that area.
Kelly Street is an issue.
Yes, sir, Kelly Street. is an
Kelly
issue.
and,
We're gonna have to build a head wall over there on Kelly and Bragg. We got a lot of problems that we're just now getting addressed, but now the weather has got us held up on a lot of them. Well, actually, that's all of them right at this particular moment, because it's hard to do anything when it rains every other day.
Let's see if we got any questions for you on anything. Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget about us, Pennington, and, what street do I live on? Bradley?
We know where you live, yes.
Right there,
Remember
because of
that,
that,
we talked about that, I think.
that corner is still like floods, you know, so, not that it's, I know you're trying, but just make sure we're on the list.
Okay, you are, but,
I know.
anybody else got any questions? Monty, you got something else reported, but we need to keep moving here, so, okay. Yeah, street crews working, folks, I can assure you, they're out working. And of course, we're hopeful to, once we get that other piece of equipment that y'all approve, we're gonna be able to do a lot of addressing of a lot of different issues throughout the city.
When's that go?
I talked to them, about 2 weeks ago, and they're saying it's gonna be at the end of the latter end of the 120 days. So we're looking at somewhere August time, last July, 1st of August.
Okay, let's go to, unless you got something else, let's go to street committee. Councilmember Mosley, chair, Atkins toll-free, members.
All right, we had a meeting, 2 weeks ago. We'd like to make a motion to put a speed hump on Oak Street, halfway down the street, a sign on each end that says speed hump,
Speed break.
free break, speed hump. And we'd like to,
And your recommendation is one of those more larger,
Larger.
gradual ones, but still not just a little narrow
one
thing.
like the school in front of the Votech. The high school around by the Votech, they're better. And not as hard on your tires.
So why are we putting this in? Why are we recommending we put it there?
Well, they asked for 3, and the street, we don't feel like there needs to be 3 there. If we put 1 in the center, and, because we had a petition, everybody on the street, they wanted, because of children and people speeding on the street.
So are you putting that in the form of a motion from your committee?
Yes.
Motion's made, and who seconded it? Matt, okay. All right, we have a motion, second on the floor. This is Oak Street to put one, I call it the gradual hump, for lack of a better way to put it. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. And then, of course, post the street accordingly on each end, that there is one there. That won't mean we'll quit working the street, but that's the motion. And second, any discussion?
Understand you to say that the neighbors asked for this, that live on that street? Yes.
And what came to the meeting?
I mean, I know, but. She's been to the meeting. I know she has, but. Well, the first time she came, she brought the petition. Okay, so you're going back to the previous petition. Okay, I got you. Cause I don't remember her having a petition when she came to second. When she turned the petition in, it's like 2 pages, not complete, about a 1.5 page.
Any other discussion? This will be a vote to authorize this to be done. All those in favor, show of hands. I see, hold your hands up. I see 3 in favor. Those,
I'll vote for it.
okay, 4 in favor. Okay, those opposed. 1 opposed, 1 absent, so it does pass, and we will do that. Now, you've got 2 other things. So you talked about street paving already, or have you talked about
We
that?
talked about that, but I have another motion that I'd like to make.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion to remove the street bump on Cedar Street.
okay. This would be, between Munn and Bradley,
No, yeah, Money Bradley.
between the section of Cedar Street between Munn and Bradley.
Have a petition on that everybody on the street signed except for 1 person
To remove it.
to remove it.
You know, council members, if you're thinking to yourself, well, we got one in the first place signed, but most everybody's saying they wanted one, you are correct. And then we put it in, and I think the people that wanted it moved, and everybody else decided now they don't want it. Now, that's the facts. You making a motion that that be removed. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Motion second. Any question or discussion? They've apparently had a change of heart. Okay, all in favor of the motion, show of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. In favor, those opposed? Okay, Mr. Tolfree, you want that left there, I got you. Okay, and, 1 absent, so the motion does carry to have it removed, that'll include the signage, of course. Anything you wanna say about street paving? Okay,
Yeah, we're just
still working on that. All right, Community Economic Development Committee, Alderman, Marshall is not, able to be here. Does she have anybody that's gonna give a report, or can I just, you want me to just run down it?
Or you can run down it, or one of the committee.
One of the committee members,
We were here.
Frazier, Henderson, either one of you, you wanna make any comments, you're welcome to do so.
If you'll note on your agenda, you have 7 items listed. The update on industrial recruitment will remain there unless the mayor has something to add. The private fencing, the city property on Main Street, the LSI grant, the culture center update, depot kitchen, and the old shop building. There were no action items, however, with the number 7, the old shop building, the toxic report or the environmental report was received. And I have not received a copy of it, but from the updates that was given by the administration, there were 4 areas that would need to be addressed before the public could use the actual facility, and it would cost around $14,000 to bring it up to code. The kitchen, you do have a handout in your packet as it related the warming kitchen over at the train depot, and the total cost $88,638. However, Clemens and Associates did submit a letter or memo that talked about other things that would need to be done, and that information was in your packet. And to bring this kitchen up to code, it looks like it would be between $20,000 to $30,000. So that would be in addition to the $88,638. So the committee would need to come back together to make a decision and bring a recommendation to the city council. And then the grant, I have in my notes that
That's item 3
Mhm.
that you're talking about, yes, the place on Main, correct, correct.
And just in a nutshell, that's what we discussed. No action items were taken.
All right?
I got a question.
Yes,
So, on after reading the letter from Clements, and it talked about the windows, the planks, the visual deterioration, does the committee make the recommendation to recommend that they be fixed? Or is that, because I don't remember us ever doing, like, to fix windows before, or does it just?
Well, you own the building, so yes, it's
No, I
gotta be
mean-
up to y'all to approve something.
Right, but as a
Yeah.
committee, I don't remember us doing that before.
But what happened was when we was talking about the windows, it was restrictions through the
Historical, because we wanted to put plexiglass and they wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, that's what
He's
we
got
did.
some ideas that I think he believes will be in compliance with the historic preservations I think Ms. Tolfrey's talking about. And, but they're gonna have to be something done. Of course, we need to fix them in a way where they can hold up.
Right, because like he said, the bathrooms don't work.
He had a lot of
Yeah,
deficiencies.
I'm not really sure what, because the bathrooms are working. We had one toilet that was out of order, and I found out about that. We gotta get that fixed. But that's a matter, I mean, it shouldn't be a major thing, but I'm not really sure what he's referring to there. He just said it was a lot of little things, and he thought, he's really mainly concerned about the deck on the outside.
On that second page, he said that, with the deterioration, the facility, not being usable for much longer by the public life. So that's what, like, I hate for all that money that we put into it just in 2018, just to go by the wayside, so I don't think, we need to decide to start fixing little things at a time, so we don't have to come up with $150,000 at one time to fix it. So if we could start work on the deck and get at least the deck fixed, you know what I mean? Does that have to be through the committee, or can?
I think y'all need to recommend that we proceed with fixing some of those things, yes.
Okay,
Because those are a little bit more just maintenance items.
like, and would we have to get bids for that from local contractors?
I'm not sure.
Depends on how much it is, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
depends
or
on
what-
what our estimate is.
Okay. I just think we need to move on that, we can't just, especially with all the rain and the heat coming, those boards are just gonna continually deteriorate. And if elements are getting in that building through the broken windows, then we need, I mean, before we
Rain
spend,
is,
before we spend $80,000 on the kitchen, then we gotta fix it so the kitchen doesn't end up like the rest of the building.
And I think what came out at the meeting is we have to do this first
Right.
before we move into doing the
Right.
actual, kitchen.
Or it'd be just a waste of money.
But he said numerous items in that
Mhm.
third
Right.
paragraph.
Who, maintains the maintenance? Who keeps an eye on the people, supposedly?
the Parks and Recreation Department.
And we, like, used to, was it last summer? Summer before, like, every day, there were broken windows, replacing broken windows the next day, then.
We've been aware of that.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I'm saying, but like, we've got lighting was
I
installed.
didn't realize how much some of it was, like the deck was deteriorating.
Right.
I didn't really, we really had not, but there are some rotten places on it that we do need to be fixed, but he thinks the whole thing's not in very good shape.
Right,
But
so,
we only use the historical society, dollars. We really haven't put our
Right.
money.
right, that's what I'm,
And
but
we will
before
try to
we
do
do,
that again. Yeah, we think we might could get some more money from them.
This letter was actually an eye opener.
Mhm. Okay, that's all, I just.
Okay. The only thing I would suggest is relatively soon, you do come up with what you think needs to be done, and then, let us,
I'm sure the
Get
chair
after it.
will schedule a meeting.
yeah. Okay. All right, anything else? Madam Chairman, Henderson, you get to continue, because you've got the Ways and Means Committee, so. And I do have a little new information for you on, item number 2, when you get to that, so.
Okay. The City of Warren Ways and Means Committee met on May the 7th at 4:30 PM here in the municipal courtroom. all of our committee members were present, and our agenda actually consisted of the items that you see that's listed on the agenda: the property insurance, the land purchase, the personnel policy review, the rescue funds, and the Packard Air One ambulance membership. The insurance premium information that we received actually was from two quotes, one from the Arkansas Municipal League and the other from Merchant and Planners. The deadline for receiving quotes was April the 30th, 2024. The premium quotes that we received was from Merchant and Planners, $65,815.32 with a $1,000 deductible, and also with deductible amounts of $2,500, $5,000, and one with $10,000. The Arkansas Municipal League, $46,035.91 with a $5,000 deductible, $31,498.25 with a $10,000 deductible. And if we were to look at it, we want to thank Administrative Assistant Charlotte Brown for sharing with us the actual breakdown from 2021 annual premium from Merchant and Planners, which was $49,730.84, which had a difference from the previous year of $2,082. And in 2022, annual premium was $51,805.84, with a difference from the previous year of $4,339. And for 2023 annual premium, $63,091.32, with the difference of $6,947 difference from the previous year. And then this current year annual premium 2024, $65,000. I've shared that with you, $815.32, which is a difference of $2,724 difference in the previous year. When we looked at the difference within the quotes, as I have shared the various years, with the $5,000 deductible, the difference would be $19,779.41, and with the $10,000 deductible, $34,998.25. And this is in reference to the quotes from the Arkansas Municipal League. We did have Mr. Roger George, who came to the city council and gave us some information relating what he has currently done, the funds that he gives back to the city of Warren, as well as possibility of different assessments. So I am going to respectfully ask that we leave the insurance on the agenda and that we touch bases back to get additional information to ensure that there are not any added assessments as it relates premium should we move forward with the Arkansas Municipal Leagues. Some of the things that he shared I was unaware of as it relates additional requirements with the Arkansas Municipal League. So that's the first item there. So no motion, no action. We will have a meeting, and then we will ask the administration to further explore additional assessment as it relates insurance, because we certainly want to take everything into consideration before moving forward. The second item is the land purchase, and we did receive a contract So Mayor, I'm gonna refer to you because we
Thank
just
you,
got this tonight. and I know
Literally, I
none
just
of
got it
us-
today.
None of us have read
I know that.
this thick document of
But-
about 10 pages.
Well, here's the deal, this is a proposed, contract between the city of Warren and, Mr. Hiddington and his wife for the purchase of the, so-called industrial land on Highway 189 that we bypassed, that we've been talking about for some time. Here's a little bit of good news, after some little bit more research, we found out it was about 5 or so acres less land. What you got in your packet were those 3 options on 15, 20, and 25 years that you talked about. And it was based on, I think, 115 point some odd acres. And I think this is 100 and, I don't have it written down, but it's a few acres less. They found another little piece of the property, doesn't affect anything, any major consequence, but belonged to somebody else. So we will make sure we had all that clear. So I have asked for a renewed, amortization schedule based on that change, so it will go down a little. I think the committee had, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all had pretty well decided to recommend a 25-year pay down, if everything did get approved.
That was our intent, was to go with the 25-year. There's not a whole lot of difference within the 20 and 25, about $700 per month, but it would also help us with cash flow, especially with things that we've tried to do from, within other departments, such as buying another used truck or a new truck to that.
Exactly. What I would like to ask y'all to do is, of course, take this and read it
Yeah,
and go through it. You can see there's a new total dollar figure there, but again, I wanna get the amortization schedule per month, so you know exactly what you're paying per month. And, I've got to find out from ADFA, once y'all approve whatever you approve, how long does it take to close it to where we get our money from them so we can execute the contract? If you approve it. So those are 2 things that I still need. Very likely, we can get that information. I might ask you to, have a call council meeting at some point, to just, make some final decisions, because, we need to move with it one way or the other. But, right now, just wanted to get that proposed contract, because you have not seen it, as you stated. And that is agreed to with the seller. This contract is agreed to with the seller, that he will sign this.
So Mayor, if I may ask, the schedule we have has $1,130,220,000, and on the contract, it says $1,032,750.
Mm-hmm.
700.
It's gonna be cheaper.
20.
It's gonna be less expensive because some acreage was not properly part of the site that was figured.
And we would like to review this when we review the insurance prior to the call meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure. And I've got a new plat of it too, a new survey plat that
Okay.
covers all this.
If we could have that at our meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
That
Yes,
would be
ma'am.
very helpful as well.
Will do.
Okay. Then the next item is the personnel policy. We will have a committee meeting, just to go over the policies in the upcoming future. And the American Rescue funds, if you would just look at your actual cash balances, it will tell you where we are today. On that, the general fund, you will just kind of keep an eye on that. I'm not gonna give it to you, but it's there. And then the last item that we have is the Hafford Medical Services. The city of Warren has received a document that looks like this. If you will just take that out of your $45, per family or actually, individual, which is a $15, cost saving. And my motion is to include those that would be interested, full-time employees, all elected officials, to include the mayor, city clerk, city attorney, city treasurer, and any council member that would be interested. Should the Warren Water Department and the Warren Housing Authority elect to participate, they could join as an addendum. That is my motion.
Second.
Okay, and when you say addendum, you mean the commissions would pay
That's exactly.
for their employees?
Yes.
This is a one-time year payment, $45 per employee, spouse, and any children 26 years of age or younger living in the household. That's who's covered. It is a really good deal, and it's just additional benefit for the employees.
And it goes with a package deal of enticing individuals to want to be a city employee.
I got a motion and a second. Question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Thank you. We did get everything in there, didn't we?
Yes, and I said I wasn't going to say this, but the American Rescue, if you'll look at the cash balances, and I mentioned it at pretty much all of our meetings, the ending balance is $581,594.33. This is a very good document, and it's a quick reference. Alderman Tokry had mentioned, I think the mayor mentioned the general fund, but it also gives all of those cash balances as
Right.
well, at a glance.
Thank
That
you,
is
ma'am.
my report.
Appreciate you. All right, boards of commissions, Parks and Recreation. Kyle, are you out there?
Here.
Okay, I wanted y'all to see that he's alive and well. There is a report here. I pulled him away from a lot of activities going on at the baseball complex tonight, but I want him to be here in case y'all had something you need to ask him, or you got anything you wish to report?
We'd just like to report that we started at the city pool. We've got it drained, started to clean it out, process of repainting all the vandalism. Looking to try to get it open within a couple weeks, for the summer. And, one other thing I would like to point out to everybody, I guess it's due more of a thank you to the mayor and Mark Goodwin, the CEO, and the YMCA board. They have donated to the city complex almost probably $100,000 worth of equipment out there.
This is from the Little League baseball field.
Yeah, two sets of bleachers, a batting cage, the jungle gym set, ice machine, just all kind of stuff that all we are responsible for is moving out there. They're donating 100% free, no cost to us. So we're in the process of getting all that moved out there. And I just wanted y'all to know that was going on, and thank the mayor and, the YMCA for that.
Okay, say that one more time.
The YMCA, the mayor and the CEO, Mark Goodwin, they've been doing this. They have decided to donate to the city complex out there their 2 sets of bleachers, their batting cage, ice machine, their whole jungle gym play set, all the border, everything down there, they're giving to the city free of charge. All we have to do is get it moved out there. And it's probably over $100,000 worth of stuff if you had to buy that easily.
There's a reason for this. They are doing away with that ball field.
Well,
Of course,
now-
they're
but now they
using the complex.
But they could sell it. I mean,
Yeah, they
that's very
could.
nice of them to do that. But I did want y'all to know, I mean, they could sell it, but, I mean, they're giving it to us for nothing.
So where are we putting it?
Well, we have one field that's never had bleachers, so we're gonna put them there. I've met with the mayor a couple times, and we're gonna meet with some of the high school coaches and try to pick out a center location for the jungle gym set and just put a net over it so kids get hit by any balls. And the ice machine, of course, will go inside the concession stand, and they just got a few like field equipment items we'll have. But it's just really a lot, and I just wanted y'all to know.
So we're going to invite and give them a big thank you, right?
You betcha. And they're gonna basically play most of their games out there, you know, T-ball, different activities. So they bring people out there and we, of course, we have a concession stand still, no matter what, no matter who's out there, so. It's just, I think it's an act of kindness and also probably the fact that they need us, you know, to have a place for their people to play, and so that's something, decision they've made. That place has been awful difficult to maintain down there because of floods. And it's never been a non-flooding place. It's been difficult, but, that's the decision they made, and so, we accept the items and try to work with them.
But it's all stuff we need and we won't have to buy, so I just thought it was a really good deal.
Questions for Kyle on anything?
I noticed that in your report, you're saying replace, on the Spring Depot again, replace multiple broken window panes?
I replaced 3 squares last week, or 2 weeks ago probably. What they did okay us for is to replace the window panes with Lexan, which is kind of like plexiglass. It's a 1/2 inch thick, which is the same thickness as the double pane windows. That's the only okay that we've got in the last couple of years. We met with them and they
Them
did.
being the historic
Historically,
preservation people.
they did allow us, since we were having so much problem with them busting and then rain and different stuff through the night when it happened, they did allow us to do that. And we do have another couple sheets on back order, enough to fix all the windows. But I've done, we've probably replaced 15 or 16 since I've been doing it. But that's the only thing we've got the okay to do. Now, like the doorknob and some of those items, we've done this before, or tried to, and they haven't okayed it. The historical,
I mean, when you're getting funds from the historical, society, they have specs that everyone have to follow, so, and then, so we're having problems even with the exercise equipment at the city park?
yeah, we've had handles put on multiple times.
You know, people are tearing the handles. This is the
extra
equipment
outdoor.
for adults
I know.
on the east end. We have had literally just vandalism done. We got a new set, we got it all fixed as of right now.
Yeah, we got them welded on, so
We
we'll see.
welded them on this time. The way they're made, at least, the handles that fit around them, they have it takes some work to tear them up.
We've had the picnic table on the hill, we had a few months back, they set it on fire. So,
And we are trying to watch plays, and we are gonna be bringing something to you on some more cameras out there that hopefully
Most definitely.
we'll do better. But, yeah, it's been a challenge.
Well, we appreciate your coming.
yes, ma'am. Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all. All right, planning commission. Rob still out there?
No, sir.
Well, we got a zoning, you got their minutes, and then you can see there is a request. Let's see,
Didn't it say they tabled it though because he didn't have everybody's signatures?
yes,
And the next meeting would be May 28th?
Right.
but is this ordinance the same piece of property? Ordinance 955, you got a copy of that in your packet. I didn't think that had to do with the, Charlotte, get on the phone, call Rob, and make sure that this ordinance 955 is not another piece of property, because I believe it is.
It is.
It is.
It is,
It
okay,
is. It's the
okay.
same
I
one.
think this is over on,
It's the same.
it's the same piece of property?
Down there at the corner of the old Swan,
But I thought we had a rezone coming up on property over on, there beside John Cutherson's office.
that's
that
what this
house.
ordinance is.
Okay,
Okay, so that's a different piece of property than,
yes.
okay,
We
so
have
we
it.
do need to act on this, yes.
Okay.
Well, we did get the signatures.
Was that approved by the planning commission?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was throwing this just a minute there. I thought that was correct. So the property over in, Pennisterville, this has nothing to do with this, the zoning
Right.
ordinance that you've got there. So you've got the minutes, planning commission, and then we got, ordinance number 955 to rezone from R1 to C2. I think there's a white, was a residence, kinda sets back up on the hill there on, that's your street? That's your street, isn't it? Okay, you know where we're talking
Okay,
about.
so I'm lost.
Okay, ordinance
I
955.
have that, and then I'm looking here at the Warren Planning Commission minutes dated April the 29th,
Yeah.
and it says.
I think this was approved at a different meeting,
Okay,
different meeting. So this ordinance is to be considered tonight. It has a do pass recommendation from the planning commission, as
Yes,
I
sir.
understand it.
It
They
is.
held their public hearing and their meeting on it. And so
okay,
it
now
is,
where is it?
all right, it'll be on,
Some Pennington.
on Pennington, I guess it would be West Pennington.
You know where John Cupperson's office is, right before you go?
Well, you
into-
turn at Memory's house, the council member Bert Frazier's house, and just before you enter, you run into Ganaway Street, which would, turns into it.
Someone's going into
If
that.
you go straight, you would go into the hardwood sawmill. John Cupperson has a real estate type of office sitting right there, and then just to the west of it would be this piece of property.
Right.
There is a structure on it. And they're asking to rezone it from R1 to C2 for business purposes.
Operate a realtor business.
Okay? So, first thing we have to do is hold a public hearing on it. So I'm gonna stop with the, regular council meeting and call to order a public hearing to consider this rezoning. I think we have the folks that are wanting to rezone the property. Would y'all like to just come up, somebody, and just real briefly tell them what you're
Yes,
planning to do?
yes,
I think that'd probably clarify things a good bit.
okay.
Again, they've been through the planning commission, and it has a do pass recommendation. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And we petitioned the neighborhood, so we got signatures on all the neighbors. Basically, I had a large old building on Main Street. I had a really substantial staff, had 9 agents, I'm down to 1 now. Had an opportunity arise to rent that building out to a new business to Warren. So a new business has entered that building, so that's rented, and that brought another business into Warren that way, but also allowed me to move my office to a smaller area, because I just need a business to flutter in and out of. I don't stay.
Tell them who you are, I think everybody knows, but for
Shelley
the record.
Shelley Ashcraft, Park Meadow Realty. So basically, I just need an office to land in. We had that rented, the renters were never taking care of it, we couldn't get them to mow the yard, the property was going down. We were also not getting any rental income out of it, we weren't even getting our money. So this way, it made more sense for me to move to a smaller building and allow that other business to come in. Plus, I have grandchildren, it was a way for my grandson to come play during the day. And the other agent has a 4-year-old as well, and it's a safer place for the kids to be, because their moms, when they come to the office, their children are there too. So it just allows for more opportunity for it to be a little bit more homier, and it's a satellite office, is pretty much what it is. So we're able to keep up with the place better this way, and we brought another business into town, it just makes sense all the way around.
Y'all, understand where we're talking about,
Yeah,
what
we
we're talking
got
about now?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions?
We are surrounded by commercial property on that corner.
Yeah, we figured out where. it was.
Okay.
I move that we place ordinance number.
Gotta see if anybody wants to speak opposed to it.
I move that we close the public hearing.
Okay, nobody wants to speak against it, okay, move, close public hearing, okay, all, those in favor? Show of hands, all right, 5 in favor,
I move that we place ordinance number 955 on its first reading.
Second.
motion second, place ordinance number 555 on its first reading. Question or discussion, all those in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, 1 absent. Ordinance number 555 Ordinance to amend ordinance number 220 for other purposes, whereas by ordinance number 220, the city of Warren, Arkansas adopted the zoning regulations for the city of Warren, Arkansas. Zoning regulations prepared for Warren Planning Commission by City Planning Division, University of Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, dated May 1964, and adopted by the Warren Planning Commission on the 11th date of May 1964, whereas Warren Planning Commission certified to the City Council of Warren, Arkansas, the said ordinance should be amended to classify the property in the city, Arkansas, hereinafter described from R1 to C2, in order to open and operate a realty business at that location. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Warren, Arkansas, Section 1, ordinance number 220, the City of Warren, Arkansas, including but not limited to all maps, descriptions of zoning districts being the same, hereby is amended to classify that all property in the City of Warren, Arkansas, described in attachment A to this ordinance and incorporated herein as if set forth word for word in this ordinance from R1 to C2 in order to operate a realty business at the location. Section 2, this order shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and publication. And attached is the legal description. That's it.
Move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 955 on its second reading.
Second.
Motion's made, second, suspend the rules, place proposed ordinance 955 on its second reading. Question or discussion, all in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, 1 absent. Proposed ordinance number 955, in order to amend ordinance number 220 for other purposes.
I move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 955 on its third and final reading.
Second.
Motion and seconds made, place proposed ordinance 955 on third and final reading. Question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, 1 absent, that's sufficient. Proposed ordinance 955, in order to amend ordinance number 220 for other purposes.
Move that we adopt ordinance number 955.
Second.
Motion's made second that the proposed ordinance 955 be adopted. Question or discussion? Now, this is to approve the ordinance. All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. It's completed.
We're good.
You're good.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank y'all.
Have a good
Sorry to
night.
make you stay so long.
We're done.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
going back just one step, as it relates to the, planning, commission minutes on the rezone on,
Yes.
okay, any update on that?
My understanding is that the petitioning party that wanted to rezone the property, maybe brought some stuff back in, but it wasn't anywhere near what was required. They've been told they gotta go back and, now in the meantime, there is a issue pending against the property for it to be properly cleaned up. That is proceeding. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Aviation Commission, you got their minutes. They are active. Water and Sewer, you've got their minutes of their last meeting, their balance sheets, financial statements for March, and you have their latest audit, which is the governing body of the city, as that being a city-owned utility, you are mandated to receive a copy of their audit, so there it is. You're certainly welcome to look at it. If there's something you want to know about, we'll get an answer for you. Housing Authority is not met. Cultural Center, again, you just got your regular report there. Unfinished business. Municipal building roof is being maintained until we get to the point we can talk about it better. New business, you've already talked about the solar plant. Item B is downtown trees. We've got to start working on getting all the trees that have been cut down and everything in the downtown area from the original townscape project, and how we're gonna replace them, what we're gonna replace them with. I'm gonna ask the council to refer that to the Community and Economic Development Committee. I've got some information to give them on some recommendations, but let them start looking at it, figuring out what we can and they wish to do, y'all wish to do.
Make a motion, we move it to the Community Economic Development Committee.
All right? That's full.
Second.
And seconded. Any question or discussion? Is this just put it in that committee? All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, 1 absent. That's sufficient. All right, announcements, just for everybody's information. Warren High School graduation, May 23rd, 2024, at 7 p.m. at Lumberjack Arena. Municipal building will be closed May 27th, 2024, in observance of Memorial Day. We will pick up regular garbage on that day. Bradley County Pink Tomato Festival is right here upon us. Bulk of it, June the 13th through the 15th, 2024. The Arkansas Municipal League's 90th, I called American, didn't I?
You're trying to get away with that American Rescue money.
But yeah, I guess I am. This is the Municipal League's 90th convention. Is scheduled for June the 12th through the 14th. That'll actually be during the week of Tomato Festival, but, I hope some folks can go. We certainly intend to, because it's worthwhile. And then that's just for information. Please let us know if you're wanting to register or need any help with anything. Then we got the bills for April 2024. You got that in your packet.
Make a motion, pay the bill.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Is there any question or discussion on anything? All those in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, so that's authorized. And then the meetings for June, agenda meeting should be on the 6th, and the regular council meeting on the 10th. Unless y'all change something. Okay, Carrie, you kinda missed the public comment, but go ahead.
I know it, but on the announcement, I was gonna add that the Chamber's, Business Beautification Contest ends Wednesday,
Okay,
and we'll announce the winners, probably Friday,
very good.
so.
Okay. Feel free to just tell us anything like that if you want to, and we'll certainly put it on here.
Okay, I didn't realize we were doing the public announcement, though I
That's
would've
okay.
mentioned it to you.
That's okay. All right, now, I'm really enjoying using this extra power that all the council member Henderson has made me aware I have.
Robert's rules.
Are we clear of everything? If I missed anything, then I hereby announce this meeting is adjourned.
Good job, man. Robin.